My brother, in that game, that thing that happened was a clear penalty. That statement that the sports minister made in South Africa actually put pressure on Abongile. The referee went to the bar. He saw it. The every camera angle that the referee, that the camera was showing, there was a proof there.
Like, go by the referee, Tom Abongile. It's not, because I feel the player fell down so easily as well. He fell down so easily because the pulling was not even up to 2 seconds.
So we're going to discuss about what transpired in the game, how the referee performed, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the way they perform, and the way the Gabonese perform. I have the gentleman by my right, in person of Mr. Albert, and Mr. Kima by my left. What is your take about that game? Did Nigeria really perform well the way you expected, or you felt they won by a fluke?
Well, in the game, thank you very much for having me once again. There are two things that are involved in the match: the positive side of
And the negative side.
and the negative side of it. I know most times when people win matches, people often they tend to forget about the negative side of it, because in my own evaluation, as someone understand this football very well, when you win a game, firstly I check your opponents that you win against, if they are worth it, and then their performance. Then I check the players as well, the mistakes that they make in case of going forward, because going forward you are going to be meeting tougher opponents in the game. Firstly, the lineup was not bad. The coach came up with a very good lineup to attack the game. He started Frederick at the back, Nwabali at the post. He played Zaidu Sanusi from the left side, played Osai from the right side. Then Frederick and Kabibasi appeared at the center back. Then from the midfield, he played with Freddy Didian Iwobi from the midfield, while he played two double striker, Osimhen and Akpakwa. On the right hand side, he played Samuel Chukwueze and
Adena Lukman.
Now, checking their performance in that game, Akko Adams complimented Osimhen very well, because that guy is a kind of player it's a kind of striker that knows how to use, but it's a very quite different striker from Victor Osimhen. So because all eyes are always on Victor, so you now having a second striker who dash to the left, to the side, to the middle to come and fetch the ball, collect the ball, then go up, create more space for Victor Osimhen up front. But first, I was disappointed from the first minute. I think about 12 minutes in the game, the first chance we saw, you should have buried that chance, because in that kind of game, you don't have to miss such opportunity. What if you were not presented with another opportunity like that? So missing that game was a very morale low. He died. The team killed the morale of the team.
Demoralized the spirit of the game.
Yes, they possessed, but for a very long time, like Mr. Abbas said, this is the first time this match against Gabon and then the match against South Africa away has been the best two games I've watched the Super Eagles played. Why? Firstly, the weather they played under, almost the same weather with the weather they find themselves in Europe. The pitch they are playing under, the turf they played on, the same turf they usually play in Europe. So this turf and the weather brought out the best from there. Despite the whole controversy around the Super Eagles, when the national anthem was on, I saw some kind of atmosphere around the player. They were not really happy because of the whole thing that had been going on before the game, which we to talk about it. Yeah. But coming into the game, the morale was not there. Even though Osimhen was not even singing the national anthem, he was just angry because these guys knows what they can do. Nigerian team is one of the best teams in the world, that we have a lot of talent, but if not for bad administration, Nigeria is not supposed to be in a situation where we are today. So playing the game, I understand these guys came from Europe. They are very, very good players, fantastic players, but most of the times, I don't know why we come into the game and we find ourselves in this situation. Now in this game, if Nwabali at this point, yes, Nwabali might not have considered so many goals in the Super Eagles, but you cannot compare the present Nwabali now and the former Nwabali. If Nwabali at this moment does not know that Nigeria cannot declaim a person of particular concern, there's a problem. I'm telling you the fact, because Nwabali right now should declare the person of particular concern. That position is a concern, it's a worry for Super Eagles. I'm telling you the honest fact. Because Okoye is there, because now they believe that Nwabali has been there for so long. Now that
he believes he has cemented that position.
Yes, to him he has cemented it, which is not bad. But the way Super Eagles are going, this is a team that wants to play in the World Cup, that wants to play against the very best of the world currently. So in this game like this now, Nwabali, now the kind of fear he puts in the team is not good. The overconfidence is very, very wrong, because when we are playing a game like this, you don't need to bring down the morale of the team. One, I've not seen when Nwabali saved a lot of body. The first line have been so fantastic because most of the time the defense have been saving him. So it looks like maybe he has been saving us. No, it's because the shot that is being
It's been directed to him.
It's not much. And
Yeah.
then one or two comes in, it's a goal against Nigeria. Then from that midfield, Ndidi did not play well until the second half. Minute. If I must be honest with you, Ndidi is not that DN that Nigeria will use in a big game. Ndidi is a very good player, but one, Ndidi absorbed form. Two, Ndidi should be moved up front, maybe to play as a DM, while Iwobi should be placed as maybe 8 or to play from mid side as the way they normally use him in F1. Because if not, Ndidi has lost that touch of a DM. In that squad, we have Onyedika who plays for Club Brugge. Rafael Onyedika who plays for Club Brugge. If you want to play a player according to form, this guy has been playing every matches for Club Brugge, playing for in Champions League, playing in the league. In fact, they have won several cups with the team. So I don't know the reason why if they invite this guy, even if he is starting, I expect when you want to make a change,
you bring him on.
Because this guy is the only defensive midfielder that in Nigeria is having. Frank Onyeka is not a DM.
Yes.
Even in Brentford, he's not playing. They are not be playing. So a team like Super Eagles that possess this kind of squad, I expect that when you are playing player one, it should be based on form.
Players that plays on day in, day out.
People who are playing in Europe. So if you are playing player based on reputation, fine. Sometimes you can play some people based on reputation. Ekong was
on the bench, yeah.
Because they know that this is a do or die game, and then he might not be able to fit into that game. That was why they benched and then they brought him in the second half. There was no problem in that midfield for us to have a very good back. If you want to play one man midfielder to complement Iwobi, I don't think that Ndidi will be the best man. In second half, yes, he have the experience, but in terms of the power collecting the ball, Ndidi is not that man that can play that ball. Zaidu Sanusi did very, very well, amazingly well. Yeah. But the negative side of Zaidu is that crosses into our 18-yard box is very, very poor. Very, very poor. But in terms of marking, covering up, Zaidu is fantastic. 100% there. He have the energy to mark. He have the speed to cover up. He have everything there from the outfield back to our post. But from the outfield going forward, Zaidu is not that. He need to improve on that aspect. But fantastic play for him. Osai Emmanuel in that game was
Osai Samuel
was very, very bad.
Very bad. Very poor.
His going forward was poor. His defending was poor. Causing that kind of controversy in that game was a no for me. And since he moved back to Birmingham, he has not been himself. When he was still in Fenerbahce, he was playing far better.
Well.
And this kind of situation, he had issue with Mourinho with this kind of situation. If Fenerbahce one match in UEFA Cup that he caused a penalty in that game. So I feel like at this stage in time, you need to 100% concentrate because there's VAR in matches that you are playing. Definitely, you don't need to do something that the referee
do some terrible things that I feel that they will not see.
If the referee did not see, the VAR
can call back the action.
Was fantastic. Iwobi was trying to play the pocket passes, trying all his best to make sure that he penetrated. Osimhen was fantastic. But from the beginning, it was a bit poor because he was trying to build this momentum. He was trying to build this confidence because of the whole issue. The whole thing, a lot of things caused different things might have come into Osimhen coming into the game, and then that tension of this man, everybody I'm going to score all of those things. So he was playing until he missed that last goal in that 19. So, but honestly, Osimhen is that superstar that Nigeria has gotten right now that can deliver Nigeria at every given time. And no matter look more, the issue with Atalanta
is still affecting him.
He has not been at his best in the game. He tried to do one or two, but lack of precision in the game.
Lack of playing time.
Not playing time. Preseason game, he was not among the
people that went for play. Yeah, I know.
Because of the whole issue.
When he even came back, he has not been really
playing. He's been playing.
I think he has been playing only a few games.
No. He has been playing all their matches. He's been playing. He even scored against Athletic Roma or there, but he's been playing before he had the issue again with his coach that was just sacked. You understand? Yeah. So Samuel Chukwueze, he has not been playing for he usually come in 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and he has not been at his best. So maybe because he gave 2 assists to Osimhen against Benin Republic, so they feel like, okay, let us try this guy. Yes, Akko Abraham Adam did fantastic well. Osimhen did well. The sub Moses Simon struggled in that game.
He didn't play well.
Not really do well, trying to dribble, too many touches, no much thing. And look at that, two came in. I think he just no much.
Nobody there was no much time.
There
He
was
had
no
no more
much
time to play.
Ekong came, but I believe we really miss Ajayi in that game, because if Ajayi was there, that backline would have been more set, more balanced, because Ajayi understands the African football very well, and that was why they brought him. But because of yellow card, he was not able to play, so they kept him on the bench, hoping that
He will play the next match.
he's going to play the next match. Aside from that, nobody was the least person that I could rate in that game.
Okay, Nigeria had many chances in that game. We had like 4 to 5 chances. We would have buried that game in the first half. What is your take about that game?
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a World Cup qualifying playoff between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Panthers of Gabon. In the course of that match, there were so much hula baloo on who's going to win that match. Even some of the Gabonese came out to say they are going to defeat the Super Eagles. But I think so far so good. No Super Eagles player came out to contest, to buck wild, to contest on social media or any platform that they are going to win. But I so believe they know that winning a game has nothing to do with the mouth, but rather on the pitch of play. So the game between the Super Eagles and the Panthers in the Mole El Hassan Stadium in Hassan District in Rabat, 22,000 capacity stadium. First and foremost, that stadium was a wonderful stadium. The infrastructure, the ambience of the stadium, the turf, the grass, everything about the stadium is top notch. And I so believe that pitch the Super Eagles playing actually brought out the best of their game. Yeah, because this is one of the best of game I've seen the Super Eagles play. The way they possess the ball, the way the flow came from the defense line to the midfield to the attack. The anticipation of Super Eagles on that match is a top-notch kind of anticipation. It's been a while I saw such anticipation. Though the Gabonese side, through their well-exposed player like the Mario Jr., the Aubameyang, the Apongo Nima, the Aaron Apongo Nima, and one or two of them, they actually proved the middle bet. Super Eagles actually possessed the game. And then at the end of the day, they didn't just come out, because I actually predicted that the Super Eagles were going to come out, win by a large margin, considering our European exploits and how our players have been doing well in Europe. Because you can't expect the Super Eagles player, in which from the goalkeeper to even the bench, people that are on the bench, not because they are not worthy of playing the national team, but in the first team. It's just because that it's not more than 11 players that can start a game. You understand? So even I believe that our bench players, if they were in that pitch, that or in that match, they're still going to win. Yes, because of the energy, the adrenaline busting, and the morale that I see in the Super Eagles player wanting to qualify for the Mundial, the world biggest stage in football, looking to the fact that they didn't qualify in the last World Cup. Yes. So all of them, they are all out. I enjoyed the energy from the dressing room out on the pitch. It really shows, even when the substitution were made, the substitute, the educate that came in, he tried his best. He put in his very best. The Thrashed guy even came in from the defense line. He tried to do a lot of coordination and all of that. What's the name of this guy that came in as well? All of them that came in as substitute, they put in their very, very effort. It shows that from the bench they were even playing. Even on the bench they were even playing. So when they called them to come and giving their own quota, they came out and actually added up. And don't forget, one of the best performance for up to like 15 to 20 matches I've watched Ndidi played. I spoke about central midfielder. I haven't invited 4 of them the last time out. And yes, Ndidi must still be the person that will play. But if you watch very well, in the first 6 minutes, he had a yellow card. On a very, very good day.
I was concerned about that.
Yes, a lot of us were concerned that, yes, because he's a ball winner. In no less than 5 minutes after that yellow card, he could conceive another yellow card because of his, yes, he's a combative midfielder and all of that. But he kept his composure as a captain of the team and tried to ensure that he didn't go headlong with any other player. So he kept his composure. He was box to box on that very day. I give him 8/10 in that match. He was going box to box. He was trying to coordinate from the defense line to the midfield to the attack. Yes, that's why it was when he gave that assist to Osimhen that he scored. I really know that it was well deserved because he was actually looking for holes throughout the game in the midfield to at least add. You understand? Give this assist he was actually looking for, because I so believe he was looking for a hole all the while in the game.
It was Ejuke that he gave that assist.
He gave Ejuke, yes, he gave Ejuke. It was a Frederick It was that gave Osimhen.
Yeah.
You see, the Frederick to me is the man of the match.
He was the man of the match.
See, the Super Eagles. No, look. If I look it deeply, I know that the pitch actually played a role in their performance because all of them are playing abroad. All of them are playing in Europe. So when they came and watched. And played on that standard pitch. It actually made them perform at their apex, perform at their best. Yes, aside the fact that they know that this is a playoff game and it's a one match that if they lose it, they're out of it. So they came all out. A lot of things, looking at everything, things put together, actually make their performance became a top-notch performance. So I give them the thumbs up. They didn't just win; they showed class, and at the end of it, they won 4-1.
There were 2 talking points in that game. The pulling down of Aaron Apindagoye by Osai Samuel and the penalty controversy that the handball controversy that we had. So I will ask you, Albert, that Osai pull on Aaron Apindagoye, was it meant to be a red card or the referee assisted us?
If you look at that game very, very well, that's why the VAR, when they called the referee to check on it, they stayed there for so long. If you check very well, when Abongile was looking at the screen, he was even having a conversation with the VAR team, and his countenance shows that he's disagreeing with them. Yes, he has the final say. He has the final say. He was disagreeing with them. He was trying to point out some things that we were just watching. We never know what he was saying. But it was better. But when the playback was coming in, Apindagoye was coming behind him. Then Osai Samuel already lost the ball. You getting it? Then he knew by his peripheral view that Apindagoye was coming behind him to hit the ball into the post. He now pulled up the jersey. So that was actually where the VAR assistants were actually pointing out for the referee to take the look. So I feel the referee, all Nigerians opposed to be, feel is a supposed enemy of Nigeria. That's what the Nigerians all felt. That why will you give us a South African referee? We don't know because where people don't really see that he's going to come and perform as a professional in which he is. So I think he was looking at from the angle that Osai Samuel too was going down. So by virtue of reflex action, his hand held the jersey. I am looking at it from that angle as well. Because I'm looking at it from that angle. Everybody has his own independent to look from whichever angles he feel. You understand? Because Apindagoye was coming right behind him, and he too was going down in the course of the rancor, the bustling in the box 18. Understand? So when he was going down, he now held the jersey. So I feel 2 things, that perhaps he was going down, but maybe Apindagoye fell too easily. Because sometimes we're watching with the Premier League, even the Italian League, the commentator will say he fell down too easily. Maybe, I just use that word in quote, fell down too easily. Maybe as he just held the jersey, he just fell. Because there was no 2 seconds dragging of the jersey.
There was.
It was not a dragging. No, when I hold your jersey, it's different from me dragging you. It's too different. I can hold your jersey.
Was a pull.
That's what I'm saying. I said the referee perspective may be different from the VAR perspective. Are you getting the picture now? The VAR may say he has held his jersey, but the referee arguing with them, making them understand that there
was not much force on him.
Yes, maybe he fell down too easily because of he knew that he was in the penalty box and he was waiting for a quick penalty observation and all of that. So I believe the referee, Tom Abongile, acted as a top first-class referee. That's what I see in there. Because if the VAR assistant, the VAR operators wanted him to act as they feel and he debunked their claims, he has shown that he's a first-class referee. And I really appreciate it. It's football. It depends on the referee. There are some infringement that it's not even up to that level that the referee will point at the penalty spot. Yes, because there are some games too we have watched that maybe the infringement happened just at the edge of the 18. The referee will point at his penalty spot. No matter what the VAR assistant they do, the referee said it's penalty from what he feels, because he holds the final word as he's the center referee and all of that. So it's not to me, it's not a bad officiating.
I'm not talking
yes. He sees it for
was that call a penalty?
That's what we are talking about. It's not a penalty. That's why he says it's not a penalty. I'm not the one holding the
I'm
whistle.
talking about your own opinion.
Yes, it's not. It's not. I go by the referee, Tom Abongile. It's not because I feel the player fell down so easily as well. He fell down so easily because the pulling was not even up to 2 seconds. From it, he just held it. You understand? In the course of falling, not
But
that
I didn't see Osai falling in that particular incident.
he was not standing. He was going down now when he held him. Now he was going down. The guy was coming behind him. He was not opposite the guy. The guy was behind him.
Okay.
Everyone Apinago, he was behind him. Go and watch it again. He was behind him. So he saw him through his peripheral vision because we were putting on a white jersey while they were putting on a yellow jersey. So if I see a yellow jersey around me, I could able to see the one behind me or by my side with my peripheral vision. So it was through that vision he saw it and maybe tried to nudge him for him to dislodge him. Are you getting it? So Tom Abongile is the center referee and I go by his opinion that ball was not the penalty, and I believe it's not the penalty.
Anyway, it depends on the angle you are watching from, but my own opinion is that ball was a penalty to me. Chima, what's your take about Aaron Abongile's, Aaron Apindagoye's pull by Osai Samuel? Was it a penalty or not?
I'll start from somewhere so I can take it somewhere. Before, when they appointed the referee, there were a lot of controversies.
Corporal.
Yeah. Filing petition from NFF. Because why? The sports minister of South Africa, Mackenzie, said that, I quote, I don't want Nigeria
to qualify.
Now, CAF knows that Tom Abongile is a very good referee and is a world-class referee. Before, even if that South African sports minister have not said that thing, they would have still appointed Tom Abongile to officiate that game. But do you know what happened? That statement that the sports minister made in South Africa actually put pressure on Tom Abongile in officiating that game.
Yes.
Two of them has no business together. But that statement have already put a lot of pressure on him
because he's a South African.
Being as a South African and then having pressure because as a career man, he is fighting for his own life. He has his own life. He has nothing to do with the sport minister. The sport minister also is occupying his own position. Tomorrow might be changed. He doesn't have anything to do with that. But that statement he made has already put pressure on that man. Now, coming into the game already, anybody in the world, we also say the same thing Nigeria is saying. You understand? Because football is a game. And that game, sometimes you play that game outside the pitch before you enter the pitch itself. Which I know that Nigeria have already played that game by making that reference that why will you appoint a South African referee for this game? Now, that already sank into the referee's head already. That in this game, I must be extra careful. And then if I make any mistake, he's going to test my email because they will think that I purposely did not want Nigeria to qualify. Now, coming into that game, my brother, in that game, that thing that happened was a clear penalty. As a Nigeria, I am telling you the fact that if that situation happened against Nigeria and the referee did not give that penalty,
we will protest.
We will still be here to protest because that ball, Osai Samuel should have been punished for that act because as a professional in that game, that magnitude of that barrier, in that kind of game, as a professional in that level, at that time, what about 70-something minutes or thereabout? Almost at the end of the game, you have to pull down a player in your 18-yard box. You as a right fullback, anytime you are playing a game as a defender inside your 18-yard box, and then the striker or your opponent can see your jersey, you are at a disadvantage. If a striker or an attacker can see your jersey, that means your marking position is poor and very, very wrong. So as a defender, as a right back, your center back was like this. Other attacker or other defenders were like this. A cross almost at the end of corner kick into your own 18-yard box. You should be standing like this to see everybody, not standing like this and leaving an opponent behind you, or where you don't know that an opponent is running behind you. If you were standing like this, it would have been easier for you to see the flight of the ball and then see the defender coming behind you. So already Osai Samuel lost the position inside our ball. Then losing the position, the ball was ahead of him. You not turning. You saw a yellow jersey. Instead of you to just leave your hand, you decide to pull back. You pull it back, whether it's 1 second, 2 seconds. Aaron Apingale, what's his name?
Bongile.
Abogile
The referee.
knew already that there was a touch on the jersey.
That was a
In
serious
football is mind game. You can win game with everything, even a slight mistake. There's no power in football. You have to use your intelligence. The guy fell down immediately inside the 18, falling down, caused the referee and the VAR to look into it, which was a very right that any professional can do at that point in time, because they needed that goal, and that was a very useless foul from our own player at that point in time. Now the VAR called the referee to go and check. This is a possible penalty. Penalty. The referee went to the VAR. He saw it. Every camera angle that the referee, that the camera was showing, there was a pool there. If there was a pool there, and the ball was coming directly to that area, whether the player could have nodded the ball or not, that was left to be seen. But as far as the ball was coming towards the direction, no infringement from the goalkeeper, nobody was interfering with the ball, straight to the player that you put. Definitely any touch there supposed to be a penalty against the Super Eagles there. But because the pressure have already been on Tom Abogile, he was thinking, when going to the VAR, he was thinking, could this be a penalty or not? Right, so the check from different angles. The VAR official were telling that there was a pull, this is a penalty, because they were convinced that this could be a penalty. That was why they called him. If not, they would have told him nothing happened, play on. But because they were convinced, they needed him to also confirm with them, because as a center referee, you have the final say. That's why they called and said, go and check this in again, because this pool is enough to cause penalty. And then the referee went back. All those minutes that referee was checking, the only thing that could be going through, he said, I could just imagine being in that position. He said, if I blow this thing at this
Nigeria
did not equalize this ball, they will say, they said it. That is what our sport minister said has happened. That is truly, I am against Nigeria. Truly, I don't want Nigeria to qualify. All these things you are running through this man, and this man feel like, okay, even before coming to the game, I believe that Tom Abogile would have decided that either side, I will not give a penalty anyhow. They said there's a very clear one that is very, very obvious. So I feel like emotionally, Tom Abogile succumbed to the pressure from Nigerian fans from all over the world, and then the pressure that the sport minister gave to him. I think that was what made Tom Abogile not to give Super Eagles that penalty. But for me, in any football, whether that thing was a penalty, it was a 100% clear penalty. Yes, in EPL, there could be a mistake sometimes. Sometimes you can officiate a game as a referee after going back to your dressing room.
See your mistakes.
Check and say, wow, I could have given this ball. Yeah, but at that moment, as a fan, as a Nigeria, yes, Nigeria won. It cannot be reversed anymore. But that ball, if it happen against Nigeria, honestly, I will never be happy if Nigeria goes. So if Gabonese are protesting for that particular incident, they have the right to protest. Even though this decision can never be changed, but they can protest, because football, you can protest. You have the right to do anything. Even what the sport minister said, let me correct that impression. The said sports minister Mackenzie said, I hope Nigeria does not qualify. And then everybody was like, the only issue that I saw in that case was the referee that was appointed because of that statement. So I feel like if Nigeria protests, it's fine. But as a sports minister, you are also human. You can declare anything you want to say. Football.
That's his opinion.
Football in the world is a game. And a game, you have the right to support whoever you want to support. Let us be honest. I am telling you the honest fact. Referees in EPL, they have clubs that they support. Referees all over the world, they have people that they like natural. But when they come to the pitch to blow, they can blow fairness. If you are a coach, you have your favorite players on the pitch. But sometimes your favorite player might not play. You put them, and that does not mean you don't like them. In the training ground, if you are coaching a team, definitely you have players that you love more than each other. Even in your family, you have children that you prefer or you love more than one or two people. You might not say it, but in football, I don't think a player coming out or a man coming out and say, I want Pirate not to qualify, I want Sunderland not to qualify. It shouldn't be an issue. This is just a method. Mackenzie is not a CAF official. It's not holding any office that involve CAF or that involve Nigeria. I think this statement was coming from a CAF president or a FIFA president. That is when you can say that. Why will you say it's about a sports minister in his country? Can even in Nigeria sometimes can come out and say, I don't want Africa to qualify. I don't want them to qualify. Let it be that it's only Nigeria that qualify from social content. It's football. You can say whatever thing you like as far as you are not doing freedom of information or speech against anything in football. You can come out and say, I don't want Man. If Man U is playing now, sometimes people say, I don't want Man U to win. Nobody will come and sue you and say, because you said that this is football. So that was what sport minister said. Maybe he said it out of this thing that I'm explaining. Now that is his own opinion. He just like, these guys are good, man. If they qualify, they were bragging right too with the Nigeria. So definitely these are the joy of football. If something like this are not happening, that with the football, the
It's not interesting.
It's not
That's
interesting.
the football bantering too.
It's a football country, so it's a game. So for him saying that kind of thing, it's not wrong at all. Where the issue came was appointing the referee. Before you don't have right to say that thing. If you are a referee and then you make such statement openly why you are involved in a tournament, yes, it's against the rule. If you are a CAF president or CAF official or FIFA official, but aside from that, I don't think you have any issue or you should have any issue for a sport minister in this country that carry mic and then attend the media office and say, I don't want Nigeria to qualify. That shouldn't be an issue because it does not affect Nigeria. It's not the one playing against Nigeria. It's not a CAF president. It's not official. So I'm okay with it.